Tonight changes everything in the Dales because we have waited months for someone to finally stand up to Celia Daniels, and it looks like Cain Dingle is finally stepping into the ring. But that is not the only explosion waiting to happen in the village. Charity Dingle is walking a tightrope so dangerous that one slip from Vanessa could destroy her family forever. The secrets are spilling out, and the consequences are going to be absolutely brutal for the people we love the most. Before we dive deep into these massive spoilers, please take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to Emmerdale today. It really helps us bring you the latest updates. Tonight represents a massive turning point in the village because we are finally seeing the storylines converge in a way that feels incredibly satisfying. For a long time it felt like Celia and Ray were operating in the shadows with impunity, but that safety net is about to be ripped away. It starts with Moira, who has been sensing that something is wrong for a while, but what she finds at the farmhouse is worse than she imagined. When she uncovers those invoices, it is a moment of pure horror because she realizes she is not just a partner in a business, she is the fall guy. Celia has forged Moira's signature on paperwork for thousands of turkeys that do not exist, which is a classic money laundering setup. The betrayal hits hard because Moira actually trusted Celia to an extent, or at least trusted the business arrangement. To find out that her name is being used to cover up serious crimes makes her blood run cold, and frankly it should. The confrontation that follows at the Woolpack is one of the most difficult scenes to watch because it showcases just how good Celia is at manipulation. When Moira confronts her, she is understandably furious and loud, which plays right into Celia's hands. Celia instantly switches into victim mode and makes Moira look like the aggressor in front of the whole village. But then she goes a step further, and this is where she truly shows her evil nature. She quietly suggests that Moira is confused because her brain tumor might have returned. That is a low blow that is almost impossible to forgive. She is weaponizing Moira's medical history and her deepest fears against her to discredit her valid anger. It is cruel and calculated, and it pushes Moira over the edge. When Moira slaps her, it feels justified to us watching, but to the villagers who do not know the context, it looks like an unprovoked assault. This is where the story pivots, because Moira realizes she cannot handle this alone. She is cornered and afraid that going to the police will only implicate her further since her signature is on the fraud documents. That is when she turns to Cain. This is the moment fans have been waiting for. Cain Dingle does not care about polite society or legal loopholes, he cares about protecting his own. When he listens to Moira, he does not judge her or panic. Instead, he starts connecting the dots. He remembers Ray's strange behaviour when Marlon hit his car, and he realises that Ray and Celia simply do not add up. Cain's instincts are his superpower, and once he decides he does not trust someone, they are usually in trouble. When he suggests they go confront them together, it feels like the beginning of the end for Celia's reign of terror. Cain and Moira as a united front are a force of nature, and I think Celia has finally underestimated who she is dealing with. While the storm is brewing with the Dingles, there is a surprisingly tender and heartbreaking storyline unfolding with Ray Walters. We have seen Ray do some terrible things under Celia's orders, but tonight proves that he is not beyond redemption. When he sees Beowulf struggling with that infected hand injury, it triggers something in him. Celia treats Bear like a piece of broken machinery, just complaining that he is slowing down the work. She has zero empathy. Ray, on the other hand, sees a human being in pain. The decision Ray makes to disobey Celia is huge. It is not just about helping Bear, it is an act of rebellion against the woman who has controlled his entire life. The scenes at the hospital are some of the best writings we have seen for Ray. When he tells the staff he is Bear's son to cover their tracks, it feels poignant, because in that moment he is stepping up to be the protector that he never had himself. He risks everything to get Bear treated, and that bond they are forming is becoming the emotional heart of this dark storyline. Sitting in that waiting room, Ray opens up about his dreams, and it is tragic to hear. He talks about Laurel and the idea of being a stepfather and having a normal life. He wants to be better, and he wants love, but the tragedy is that he is still trapped in Celia's web. We know that if Celia finds out about this unauthorized hospital trip, the punishment will be severe. Ray is dreaming of freedom while standing on the edge of a cliff, and it makes you root for him, even though you know it might not end well. Then we have the absolute chaos that is Charity Dingle's life right now. The writers are ramping up the tension perfectly as we head toward Christmas. Charity is pregnant with Ross Barton's baby, but she is letting Sarah and Jacob believe she is carrying their child as a surrogate. It is a lie that was doomed from the start, and the cracks are showing. During the 20 weeks scan, the contrast in the room is palpable. You have Sarah and Jacob, who are over the moon with happiness, looking at the screen and dreaming of their future family. Then you have Charity, who looks like she is about to be sick with guilt. She cannot enjoy the moment because every heartbeat on that monitor reminds her of the massive deception she is maintaining. Vanessa Woodfield is the wild card here. She knows Charity better than almost anyone, and she can smell a lie a mile away. When she questions Charity about the genetic screening, Charity hesitates just for a second, but that is all it takes. Vanessa knows something is not adding up. She mistakenly thinks Mac might be the father, which is a disaster in its own right, but she is circling the truth. The confrontation between them is intense because Charity is fighting for her survival. She lashes out and throws Vanessa out, but that defensive reaction only makes Vanessa more suspicious. The setup for Christmas is terrifying. Charity is going to have to spend the day with Vanessa while carrying this secret, and we all know that secrets in soap operas have a way of coming out over Christmas dinner. The spoilers suggest alcohol might loosen some tongues, and if Vanessa keeps pushing, Charity might just crack. It feels like a ticking time bomb. You have Cain and Moira preparing for war with Celia, and you have Charity trying to keep her house of cards from falling down. It is the perfect recipe for a dramatic holiday season. I think what makes these episodes so compelling is that everyone is pushed to their limit. Ray is risking his safety for compassion. Moira is fighting for her reputation and her freedom. Charity is fighting to keep her family together based on a lie. The stakes have never been higher, and I honestly do not know who is going to make it out of this unscathed. It feels like the calm before the storm, and when it breaks, the fallout is going to change the village forever. Make sure you tune in because you do not want to miss a second of this. Let me know in the comments what you think Cain will do to Celia, and if you think Ray can truly be redeemed. Thanks for watching Emmerdale today.